Welcome to the Mashup.
Tell me whether I'm wrong or right. East or west, up or down, side to side. I sit to stand and fall to fly. Of all of my impulsive plans, pop and lock and salsa dances on demand. I follow leading off the map and stop the chatter, scream happily.
Welcome to the Mashup.
Welcome to the mashup. Welcome to the welcome to the mashup.
Welcome to the Mashup.
We always talk about how expensive groceries are getting lately, but nobody talks about how expensive construction materials are. Things like sheds, all of this stuff, all of the things that men like and enjoy and need so that they can build new things with their tools and stuff. It's all gone through the roof. Everything. Mastercraft has become expensive as DeWalt. DeWalt has become expensive as Milwaukee. And Milwaukee is basically whatever that super expensive high-end wood company, tool company that like you have to be super rich to even know the name of. That's them. It's insane. It's all gone bonkers.
Good morning, Twos.
Good morning, Sean.
And good morning to everyone tuning in to the Mashup. Welcome to Mashup 193. I love it when Twos is looking for a word and he's like, son of a gun, I forgot the word. And you rant. You're like, you're a man, you're a creature of habit, Twos. When you got it laid out, I can just see your confidence going up when you're like, what is that?
Blank
word?
on the word.
Blank on the word. Blank
yeah,
on
well, it's the power tools that Lee Valley Tools has. Anyways, yeah, like the super high end woodworking tools. Festool, yes, Ben, thank you very much. Festool is what I was looking for Festool's sake. Why couldn't I think of it at the time?
Welcome to Mashup 193, folks. Make sure if you're tuning in, like, share, and I don't know, leave us a comment.
Well, here's the thing. Don't just share it online. Talk about it around the water cooler. The next time you're at a family event, be like, well, it's interesting. My liberal cousin from Brampton. These guys were just talking about it on a podcast. Here, check this out. Do that sort of thing. Engage physically with the show and the sharing thereof.
Random question for you. Just a complete side note. On X lately,
Mm-hmm.
have you had a hard time finding me? Because if I try and put you in on anything, I have to almost spell out your entire name now. Like doesn't do it. 222 doesn't do it. 222M doesn't do it. I got to get to 222 min, maybe even minu. And then finally you show up. I'm like, really? Really? I've been interacting with this account for how many years, and you're making it extremely difficult. And I've been having a few different videos sent to me these days of people trying to find the Sean Newman podcast. Now it's S Newman podcast is the handle, but the name's Sean Newman podcast. Certain people I search, it just immediately pops up. And I'm getting more and more videos of people trying to find me Twos, and they're having trouble finding me. I'm like, that's odd. Isn't that odd?
Well, maybe. I don't know. And so you're wondering if I have the same issue?
Yeah.
No, because I have you muted.
Well, that doesn't, that the shoe fits, right, folks? All right, Mashup 193. Love to hear from you folks this morning. Good morning.
Kevin says you have to just about spell out 222 minutes.
Yeah.
Carrie Ann says, I had to put your full name in today, Sean. If you're at somebody's profile on Twitter or X, you can actually, there's a bell thing that you can hit so that you get a notification whenever and then you have a few options for whenever they
so there you go.
They do,
like, share, and hit the bell on X so you don't miss anything, because it seems like we are being put off into oblivion these days, which is really, really interesting to watch, from this side. Anyways, happy Airborne Friday to all the military boys out there. Good morning to all you fine folks out there that are tuning in, sharing the show. Another Friday, another mashup. And how about we start with the Coots 6.5? I know we probably should put this in the happy news Twos, but we've been talking about the Coots 6.5.
Oh, you think we should put this in the happy news Twos? Let me just read the note I put
You think
At it.
you're the only one who had that thought? But you know what, Twos? Have at her. Here's a Twos idea, folks. It's a Twos idea, all right? Twos has got a great idea. Let's hear it, Twos.
Coots 6.5 / happy news in brackets at the end ?
I don't think we should wait that long. Do you think we should wait that long? We have a segment completely dedicated to the boys, and Tony Olenek is out of the Drumheller institution.
He's a free man.
I mean, yes. I mean, he's out of the institution, but I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of things coming later. But yes, he's reunited with his mom, and it's been almost 4 years of incarceration. When you think about that, folks, like that is freaking wild. And so
and especially given the recent ruling that what they did in Ottawa was unlawful.
Yes,
at the Superior Court. So yeah, Tony, if you're listening, welcome back. And if any of you guys know him, say hi, and maybe just let him know that we're glad that he's back on the big side of that fence.
Yeah. And this goes on, we've been doing the Coots 6.5, pointing out how, everybody gets bail, right? I'll read the latest one. Bail granted to Brampton man charged with luring women into sex assault via job ads. So that's happening.
Yeah.
47-year-old Tahinder Dalawal.
You got to do it with the accent. Okay. How about this? Halton Regional Police Service announced Wednesday that 47-year-old Tahinder Dalawal was located and arrested in Brampton on Monday. If we do it for the French names, if we do it for the Spanish names, we got to do it for everybody because we're all about equality. We don't want to segregate people. We need to treat them fairly, Sean, okay? Police charged Dalawal with sexual assault and offering to pay for sexual services.
I don't even know. Can I do Tahinder Dalawal? I don't know. Is that good enough, Twos?
No. Actually,
see, this is why, right? This is why I don't do it.
Fair.
This is why we leave it to Twos. I read it. You can make fun of me, but you do the accent. I can't do it. Can't do it, folks. Okay.
Cop out.
You want me to go home and stare in the mirror and work on my accents? I could do that.
Yeah, literally. I mean, it would probably go better for you if you were blindfolded, but yes.
All right. I think probably if you're sitting here in Alberta, but I mean, you had Eby chime in on it. You've had Ford chime in. You got everybody chiming in on it. And that is independence.
It's a lot of noise for such a fringe minority of people.
Fringe minority. Yes.
Minority of people.
Yes. The common word of the week has been traitors. Yep. And that comes as the petition is gaining steam on the question, do you agree that the province of Alberta should cease to be a part of Canada, become an independent state? So I don't know where you want to go. Do you want to show Nenshi? Do you want to show Stephen Guilbeault? Do you want the First Nations? Where do you want to start with this?
Okay. Well, how about we talk about the Financial Times article real quick? This one's interesting. Trump officials met group pushing Alberta independence from Canada. They apparently, according to the Financial Times, met covertly with fringe supporters of the Alberta separatist movement. Now, this is an article that came out in the past week, and it's incredibly interesting when you take into account that Jeffrey Rath has been tweeting about doing this exact thing since at least September. He's been on our show talking about how he's been doing it. I don't know what the Financial Times definition of the word covert means, but generally speaking, if you're trying to do something in secret, you don't openly tweet about it and go on podcasts and shows speaking openly about the thing that you're doing. It's actually the exact opposite of covert. It's what you would call overt. Maybe it was a typo, actually. In hindsight, maybe that was a typo.
Probably not. You had Stephen Guilbeault talking about how nobody would ever nobody seeks outside sources to do this. This is just traitorous. Nobody in our history has ever done this to us.
So he's talking about how how they're talking to people in the United States about in the event of a successful petition and then that triggering a referendum and then that referendum succeeding, how interested would you be in recognizing the sovereign state of Alberta and also potentially giving us basically a $500 billion kind of transitory line of credit until we get our own money flowing through? And that was called treason incorrectly by a former lawyer who is the leader of the NDP party in BC. And I don't know if you know this, Sean, but the NDP are not a serious party. It doesn't meet any of the legal definitions of treason in Canada or probably even in medieval anywhere. All right. So Stephen Gayballs. Imagine 1 second the Quebec separatist movement reached out to France to help with Quebec separatism. People in English Canada would be rightly outraged. This is no different. David Eby is right. Readers added context. They thought people might want to know. In 1995, the Quebec separatist movement did just that. Here's an article about it in the Washington Post.
Yeah.
So this is Stephen Gayballs. We also had some First Nations people speak out about it. I just want to show this here really quickly. First Nations chiefs are calling on Alberta's premier to resign, accusing Danielle Smith of conspiring with separatists and violating treaty rights. Very concerning claims. I hope you have your bags packed when this referendum is defeated. I'll gladly walk you to the border. Now, here's this gentleman speaking.
Danielle Smith and the UCP government do the right thing and resign immediately. Because from here on in forward, the road is going to get rocky and rough.
Daniel Smith.
Now, that guy, for longtime listeners of the show, may seem a little bit familiar to you because we're going to show you an article that we've showed you on this show before whenever that guy shows up in the news for the usual things, which are this and opposing pipelines. See that guy's face? Doesn't that look familiar? That's the guy that was just speaking. First Nations chief received $55,000 from Tides Foundation. A left-wing lobby group in San Francisco wired $55,000 to the bank account of an Indian chief in northern Alberta, paying him to oppose the oil sands. That chief, Alan Adam from the Athabasca Chippewa First Nations, yada, yada, yada. He went to Toronto to sit with Neil Young. This isn't hearsay. This is something that literally happened. And now it just so happens that this guy is also leading the push against Albertan sovereignty.
Shocker.
It's so weird. I mean, there's a lot of things. I just want to point this out, though. This is I don't give, well, I try and be fair, I guess, when it comes to all politicians. And Danielle Smith, I think, has been a little bit of a mixed bag. This, however, is something that deserves to be played in its entirety.
I've always been clear that me and our United Conservative Caucus are supportive of a strong and sovereign Alberta within a united Canada. That is one of the bills that we passed when I first came in. But I think we also have to be realistic that 10 years under Justin Trudeau's government, our province was relentlessly attacked. Our economy was relentlessly attacked, not only for our economy, but our provincial rights and also our personal freedoms and our way of life. And so when you look at the polls, they suggest as many as 30% of Albertans have lost hope. That's about 1 million people. And I'm not going to demonize or marginalize a million of my fellow citizens when they've got legitimate grievances. What we need to do is we need to give Albertans hope. We need to show them not just tell them, not just words, but with actions that Canada can work. And that's what I've been doing. That's why I signed an agreement with the Prime Minister in November so that we could work in common cause on correcting some of the mistakes, I would say, of the Trudeau government. And it's why we participate in these kinds of First Ministers conferences so that we can find the things that we agree on and work together for that, for the betterment of the country. And I think this is a very powerful table that has been able to do that for the last 3 years that I've been on it. And I'm honored and delighted to be here.
Now, I mean, personally, I don't care anymore what anybody in Canada wants to do to try and fix this. It's been going on. This isn't just in the last 10 years. This isn't even just in our lifetimes. This has been going on since a little bit before 1905. And words aren't really anything I'm interested in having anymore. I don't want to be in the same country as these people anymore. It was interesting. There was that giant event in Calgary, and I drove in for that, and I saw Marty was putting up some videos of him interviewing people. And one of the questions he was asking a lot of the time is what would you say to Mark Carney? And I found it really interesting because there's nothing to say to Mark Carney. Like, if I could sit down at a table across from Mark Carney and tell him whatever I wanted, I would have literally nothing to say. The whole point of this petition is that we're not interested in talking about this anymore. The rest of Canada has made their position clear, and they want to go in a different direction, and we're respecting that.
If I may just add one thing, because we do have listeners from across the country. When Tuz says he's not, sorry, and I forget how you put it, Tuz, but you're not,
It was 5 seconds ago.
I know. I'm trying not to mince your words.
Right,
you're just talking about all of Canada. You're talking to the governments that be, yes?
Yeah, and the people who vote for those governments.
Yeah, there's a whole lot going on with we're seeing the heat be turned up right now, right? When you see all the politicians, Jason Kenney back taking swings. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, straight from Sunnyvale Trailer Park. Completely irrelevant. It's funny.
I just mean it's interesting. You can see that somebody's giving him a shoulder tap to just. It's time to get loud on this, right?
Well,
you're
is
seeing
he
all
getting
these
the
people
shoulder tap, or is it his last chance at relevancy? And he's trying to jump in and be the guy who could be at the center of things, like he did with the whole UCP. I went back and I listened to one of the old episodes of my 222 cents, the one where I called Jason Kenney a Jason Kenneyist. He's not conservative. He's not this. He's not that. He's a Jason Kenneyist. And it's funny, like at the start of the episode, I was like, oh, and shout out to Sean Newman, who had me on his podcast. You should go check it out. And this was right after the whole Sky Palace balcony drinks thing. And I just went into how, he's never actually cared about the betterment of the people that he's purported to represent. It's all about putting himself front and center. It's all about his own personal gain in terms of monetary and status. And this is all he's doing all over again. I don't think anybody needed to tap his shoulder for that.
Yes, sorry. We're supposed to have Mitch hopping on, and he's just texting me. So we can, if you want to keep on with this Tuesday, you want to show Nenshi anything like that, I'm just gonna send him the link. That way he can get on. He can't seem to find it right now. So if you're wondering why I'm staring at my phone, that'd be why, folks.
Okay. Well, here's Nenshi. So brace yourself because he looks like a condescending prick. But I know it's somewhere in the middle here. Hopefully, I'm
cozying up to Donald Trump and those who want to make us the 51st state plays right into Trump's hands, and it weakens us from within. Albertans are proud Canadians, always have been, always will be. Let's be clear. Separatism doesn't reduce the cost of living. Separatism doesn't build hospital beds. Separatism doesn't hire teachers. Separatism scares away investment.
Separatism scares away investment. Isn't that an interesting statement to make? What do we have here? We have a $10 billion data center being proposed in Olds, among Canada's largest. January 28th, 2 days ago, they're looking at a $10 billion data center. Literally this morning, we had an announcement that Dow is doing a $10.5 billion project in Fort Saskatchewan. Since that video came out of Naheed Nenshi spouting off his idiot mouth and looking at us like he thinks he's better than us, $20.5 billion of investment has been announced in Alberta. The ink isn't even dry on that stupid video he made yet, and it's already fucking wrong 20.5 billion times.
I mean, the NDP aren't a serious party, too.
No, they are not. I don't know. Is there anything else that we're talking about? Interesting thing. People are trying to dox the separatists. I don't know to what event, to what event, like to what end, I guess I should say. But we stand for Canada. Are you fed up with these Alberta separatists looking for additional photographers to cover shifts at signing stations and meetings? Clear face shots suitable for AI facial recognition, also license plates and petition sheets. Extremism begets extremism. They blow up our country. We take action. I don't know where they're trying to go with this. Like, what could you possibly do about somebody signing a petition saying that, hey, we should have a vote on this? It's insane. And even if it ended up that that they could, get a whole bunch of license plates, unless they've got somebody at like a police station or an insurance company or something like that, they can't do anything with a license plate unless you've got a vanity plate that says Sean Newman 123 or something like that.
Well, the thing about this is the heat's only going to get worse, right? It's only going up from here on out. The more real this becomes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we expect it to just quiet down or ramp up? It's going to ramp up too. It's going to get worse.
It is. And so, they're talking, there's been a whole lot of people just, if you repeat a lie often enough, people will totally believe it. Famous quote by that staunch intellectual Catherine McKenna. You've seen a ton of people making completely unsubstantiated claims that it's foreign funded. Here, you can look at the Alberta Prosperity Project donation rules and how its donation is an ordinary resident of Alberta, and that you can't exceed the maximum of 4,600. It's not income tax.
But the same thing, it doesn't. You can use logic on this, but the same thing happened with the Freedom Convoy. Remember that? They attacked.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it.
Right? It's foreign influence. It's like, no, your
foreign interference.
Your citizens are unhappy.
It's misinformation and disinformation, despite the fact that we're fact checking the shit out of these people in real time with zero effort. Okay, and so this keeps going on, and so I don't know if they're going to try the exact same playbook again because it's not working as effectively, right? I mean, you can't share news on Facebook or Meta or whatever the hell it's idiot called now, so they can't get the dumb CBC puff pieces, and the only place we're actually getting commentary on this is Twitter, where when Stephen K. Balls pipes in and says something factually incorrect, people are like, guess what, motherfucker, we've got receipts. And so, for example, Thomas Lukazik, no matter where you live in Canada, please support our unity. We are together. Donate to Forever Canadian. Keep Alberta forever Canadian. So already, they have looser rules for the Forever Canada initiative than they do for the Alberta Prosperity Project. Like right there. You talk about foreign funded? Well, you could make an argument that for a strictly Alberta initiative, any funding that comes from anywhere else, including other places in Canada, is foreign funding. And you've got Thomas Lukaszuk openly advocating for it, while the Alberta Prosperity Project is saying you've got to have Alberta money if you want to donate.
Well, we'll wait and see if Mitch Sylvester is going to hop on or not. If he does, we'll come back to some of the independence talk. In the meantime, we've got a whole host of things. How about we start with Blacklock's reporter?
We got one more interesting thing to point out.
Okay, you got one more thing. All right, one more thing.
This is it.
I think the dog chiming in is almost perfect timing. Yes, this is Paul Brandt. Yeah, I've got independence in my veins.
Yeah, he caught a lot of flack from that. You've got a whole bunch of people saying he needs, we need to start petitions. We got to get rid of this guy. Not, does he make a point? Like, he's just not a regular dude. Like, he's been a pretty profoundly impactful guy, but he's just a guy who's wanted to make music, entertain people. He's taken a strong interest in advocating against human trafficking. And here's him saying, well, not actually anything. It's presumably, I think it's probably fair to say that he's supporting it without overtly supporting it. But just that image of even tacit support is enough to get people pissed right the fuck off about it. And if it's just a fringe minority, who cares?
It's just a fringe minority, too. All right.
Here's no. So here's just real quick. I just want to say that, you know what, as far as fringe minority goes, we do have a fringe minority in Canada. Canada has a fringe minority of separatist, phobic, Ottawa supremacist, referendum denialist, conspiracy theorists with unacceptable views. I'm using their words against them, Sean. Let me put it in a way you can understand.
Yes, could you dumb it down for me, too?
Well, that's basically it. I mean, they're obviously separatist phobic, and they're definitely in denial about this situation. And the funny thing is that it's too late for a lot of people. Like, for me, no matter what gets proposed or said or anything else like this, I am not going to be convinced that trying to hitch my wagon to the idiots in Nova Scotia who say that you could start a fire by walking through the woods, that's in any way a good idea. But there's probably some people who are still somewhat in the middle that could be convinced if you had people in the rest of Canada hearing their concerns and legitimately addressing them rather than bloviating about how it's fucking treason. And so, I mean, to people like David Eby, Doug Ford, you're doing great. You're doing wonderful. Honestly, if we do like a Mount Rushmore of all the people most influential in Albertan sovereignty, let's get your big, fat, stupid faces front row center. Do you have any idea how many mountains it would take to do a face of Doug Ford?
A couple.
Yeah.
All right. Rapid fire here. Okay.
Blacklock's
reporter. Feds spend $263,000 on consultants for coaching on how to answer questions at parliamentary committees. Not a typo. $262,609 for strategic and practical advice on committee appearances.
Well, and the crazy thing is that all you'd really have to do is, like, CBC spent a bunch of money doing this. CBC spent tens of thousands of dollars on consultants for how to best speak about the budget. No. Your job is not to spin this. CBC, your job, there should be no fucking spin on this. Okay? Your job is to explain what's happening in the fucking news. That's it. Full stop. for you to jump in and say, well, we need to know how to present this to just lighten the impact of it. Bull fucking shit. If it's that fucking bad that you've got to spend $78,000 figuring out how to break it to people in Kitchener softly, you're doing something way the fuck wrong.
Governor General's salary spikes to nearly $400,000. The Privy Council office confirmed to the Canadian Taxpayers Federation that the Governor General's salary for 2026 is $393,800, which is determined in accordance with the provisions of the Governor General's Act. What that means is the Governor General is entitled to an automatic pay raise every year by law. This is Simon's fifth automatic pay raise since taking office. Simon's salary increased by $15,800 in 2026. The salary for the role of Governor General ballooned by $91,000 since 2019. And the Governor General, here's a couple things, has a $130,000 clothing allowance during that 5-year mandate. And the Governor General can spend more on shopping sprees than the average Canadian spends on rent in 5 years. Also, the Governor General also gets a platinum pension and a lifetime expense account, even if they fail to serve a full term in office.
Yeah, well, that's what happened with the last one. That the astronaut who basically got edged out of the role for being an unworkable bitch, my words. Yeah, she gets the pension and she gets the lifetime expenses, despite the fact, like, just imagine the bar is so fucking low. You've got to make 3 appearances a year. And when something gets passed through Parliament, you've got to sign it. So you're basically, you'll get one piece of paper every month or two that you have to sign. And a couple times a year, you got to go bring the big fucking scissors and cut a ribbon. And that's it. And we're paying the new one, Mary Simon, $400,000. And the last person we had in that role, the demands of that job were so strenuous that she couldn't even maintain a civil work culture. Like, where the fuck are my giant scissors? Is everybody here fucking retarded?
Babylon B. Ford releases new safety feature where a car shuts off if a woman gets in the driver's seat.
I think this is a great safety feature. We need to bring this into all vehicles.
Andrew Lawton asked the Liberals if they want to accept the recent ruling that they, in fact, violated the charter. Stephen McKinnon's answer, he calls the protest an occupation. He says it was inconvenience for the people of Ottawa. You can show the video if you want.
I mean, it's just,
that's
it's
the
horrible
gist.
How inconvenient things were for people in Ottawa for 2 weeks. I couldn't imagine the inconvenience that they had to go through while they were being inconveniently inconvenient.
London South. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Federal Court of Appeal has once again affirmed that this Liberal government broke the most supreme law in this country, the Constitution, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, when it wrongly used the Emergencies Act, and also that it violated the Charter rights of Canadians by freezing the bank accounts of political protesters and limiting the legal right to protest. If this truly is a new government, will they say to Canadians right now that they will accept this ruling, uphold the civil liberties of Canadians, and not appeal this to the Supreme Court?
Fair question.
House Leader. Mr. Speaker, as a proud resident of the National Capital Region, I can only but lament this member's repeated, and I will give him this, he's been consistent on this, his repeated endorsement of the occupation of this downtown, of the disturbance and unbelievable annoyance that this created for residents of downtown Ottawa, and of the fact that it was an unlawful demonstration, Mr. Speaker, that ultimately was ended by the good graces and very Canadian model of cooperative law enforcement, Mr.
Actually, it was ended by the, to his credit, he's right in saying very Canadian, but it was ended by the unlawful invocation of the Emergencies Act, which is, as I said, very Canadian. That's exactly on brand for these people. But yeah, kudos to Andrew Lawton. There aren't a whole lot of, well, MPs of any stripe that I have a lot of time for. And even though I don't think he's been perfect, I definitely appreciate things like this.
How about Landon Johnson, Calgary Ward 14 councillor? He's filing a notice of motion to establish a sunshine list for our city, requiring the disclosure of names, positions, and exact salaries for all employees earning $140,000 or more annually. This measure would eliminate the current vague pay band ranges, providing clear and precise information to taxpayers. With over 17,000 city employees and taxes on the rise, transparency in public spending is essential. This isn't about attacking or undermining our dedicated city workers. Instead, it focuses scrutiny on high-level salaries, which represent the largest portion of the budget and deserve careful oversight. There's never a bad time to enhance government accountability.
Yeah. Now, for those of you who, again, longtime listeners, you may remember the time that Landon Johnson was on this show talking about his Recall Jody Gondek petition. And he's continued to work hard in this space. He recently won an election as a counselor, and he seems to be, so far, to be exactly the kind of person you'd want in this role.
Man, we're shooting pretty good success rate of people being on this show and getting elected.
Actually, yeah.
When you think about it,
yeah.
A lot of the people that have graced the old Mashup airwaves and the Sean Newman podcast, lots of them are elected now in different various roles, I might add. But that's an interesting trend. I knew the name, but now that you bring it up, I'm like, oh yeah, we had him on. What was that, like a year and a half ago?
Probably a couple years ago.
Man, has it been that long? Whew. Where does the time go?
I know it just flies away. But anyway, Landon, if you're watching, we love you. Keep it up, man.
Toronto taxpayers on the hook for millions of crack and meth pipes. Toronto Public Health confirmed that between 2021 and 2025, it produced 2.34 million meth pipes, 3.45 million crack pipes, and 14.92 million syringes through the Ontario Harm Reduction Distribution Program. However, municipal public health officials wrote that they could not disclose the cost of this equipment as the province had paid for it. It went on to say, roughly speaking, there should be around 15,000 meth users and 7,000 injection drug users in Toronto. Ergo, municipal health authorities annually procured on average around 31 meth pipes a year for every meth user and 419 syringes for every injection drug user in the city.
419. Okay, look, not to sound too terribly dark, but this whole idea of getting away from drug users sharing needles has really caused the cost of the homeless problem to explode.
I think it's just
now just even those numbers, which are insane, I kind of feel are a tiny bit suspicious. You've got 2.34 meth pipes, 3.45 crack pipes, and 1492 syringes. I feel like if I was going to make up numbers and I had like 5 seconds to do it, those are the numbers I would invent.
Hello, Alaska.
Hello, Alaska.
David tuning in from up north.
If you ever find yourself in Anchorage, go to Chilkoot Charlie's and tell them I said hi.
Elbows
they
up.
Probably remember me.
Elbows up. Okay, we've been following everything that continues to spiral here in Canada. GM Canada lays off Oshawa plant, putting up 1,200 auto workers out of work Friday. The day Oshawa, Ontario auto workers have dreaded for months has arrived as GM Canada is poised to cut a shift at the city's plant, costing over 1,000 workers their jobs. Up to 12,000 workers throughout the auto supply chain are expected to complete their final shift on Friday as the company scales back its Canadian operations, according to the union president who represents them. GM Canada confirmed Thursday approximately 500 of those people are its employees. And while GM cuts a shift in Oshawa, the company is adding 250 temporary workers to its plant in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yes, elbows up. And Doug Ford, who just the other day said that Danielle Smith needs to call out the separatists and you're either with Canada or against Canada. And he's so mad at Alberta right now that he's pouring out 1,200 auto worker jobs as a result. He gets mad at at Manitoba and Crown Royal. He dumps a bunch of those. And then now he's mad at Alberta and all of the jobs that we have, and he's pouring out some of them.
You got Donald Trump, based on the fact that Canada's wrongfully, illegally, and steadfastly refused to certify the Gulfstream 500, 600, 700, and 800 jets, one of the greatest, most technologically advanced airplanes ever made. We are hereby decertifying their Bombardier Global Expresses and all aircraft made in Canada until such a time as Gulfstream, a great American company, is fully certified as it should have been many years ago. Further, Canada is effectively prohibiting the sale of Gulfstream products in Canada through this very same certification process. If for any reason the situation is not immediately corrected, I'm going to charge Canada 50% tariff on any and all aircraft sold in the United States of America. Donald Trump.
Okay. Look, what you think of Donald Trump doesn't matter in this case. Everything he said in that, the bones of what he said in that are factually correct. I don't know if Gulfstream is a great American company, so don't take that literally word for word. But in an effect because Canada doesn't really have economies, we have cartels. And Bombardier, who fucking sucks and only exists because of government interference in terms of bailouts, investments with the Canada pension plan and the Quebec pension plan. Yeah, Quebec has their own pension plan. Have we mentioned that before? And nobody gets mad about that. And then also they limit competition domestically by not certifying extra national manufacturers. And so Trump is saying, hey, look, if you guys won't allow our planes into your country, we're not going to allow your planes into our country. And so put those elbows up higher and just start fucking waving them around. Maybe you can fly around somewhere on your own, because this is fair. This isn't punitive. This is just a completely like, you guys are being dicks. You punch me in the face, I'm going to punch you back.
Yeah, except ours is more like a kid's slap in the face.
Well, I mean, Canada is just a little yippy fucking dog in so many of these instances. And eventually the big dog's just going to give him a fucking chomp and send him yiping away.
Well, I got nothing against protecting Canadian jobs, right? That's what Donald Trump's whole thing is protecting American jobs. But right now, the way we're going about it is backfiring. Is that a nice way to put it, Tews?
Well, the thing about it is that it's not so much backfiring as it is poorly thought out. And the idea of protecting Canadian jobs is that, okay, everything in economics has winners and losers, right? It's all about trade-offs. It's not, is this a good idea or a bad idea? It's, if you do this, this will happen, but it will also have this effect. And so by protecting Canadian jobs, you're keeping international competition out of it, which artificially raises the price. So it's the same thing as the dairy cartel. If they're the only game allowed to be in town, they can set the price really high for cottage cheese, which means that they win, but the consumers lose. And so protecting Canadian jobs is a way of ensuring that the consumers lose. And sure, it's just a few.
But you could protect Canadian jobs, but encourage competition. And what you're saying is we're protecting Canadian jobs, but we have no competition. I think.
Well, no. It's you can't protect Canadian jobs without discouraging competition. If
Why can't you
do one, the other one will have at least some level, it will have that net effect. If you give a bailout to
but that's
car
not
manufacturing
sure,
companies,
I guess
it allows them to sell at a lower cost or it allows them to manufacture at an artificially low cost, which discourages international competition. If you no matter what it is that you do, if you're doing something to protect Canadian jobs, it is to the detriment of Canadian consumers. Because it's not just what happens when that pebble goes into the pond, it's the ripple effects that happen afterwards. And if Canadian manufacturers are able to unfairly compete in preferable conditions, it makes international competitors more. It makes it more difficult for international competitors to compete on that same playing field.
Yeah, but
which
isn't that what the
thereby
States is
discourages
doing?
competition.
Isn't that what the States is doing via tariffs?
Oh, yes, they are definitely protecting
encouraging
American jobs at the expense of American consumers. Who pays the tariffs? Who pays the tariffs? When you buy something that's
the home
tariffed,
country,
when you buy something that's tariffed, you are literally paying out of pocket an extra cost. And then that artificially raises the ceiling. See, if something costs $1,000 to buy and it's got 100% tariffs on it, for you to buy the international version of it costs you $2,000. So that means that your domestic producers can raise the cost to $1,995 without experiencing any real competition in the market.
Yet if you allow competition
at the expense
sure,
of
but
the consumers.
But if you allow competition to thrive, meaning you don't have just one company doing that raises it to $1,995, another company, well, what if we did it $1,800? Then we can, and then there'd be
and then all of a sudden it goes down to $1,000.
Yes,
or maybe
and it's
even
all
lower. And
right,
they work
and that's
towards innovating, which saves the consumers. And there's a hell of, it doesn't matter what industry you're talking about. There's always a hell of a lot more consumers than there are producers.
All right. Man who alleged, no, wait. Twos, show the video of Surrey, BC.
It's thinking. It's loading. Here, let's try this here. Shyster.
With the Solicitor General, and it's to make sure that we are focusing our efforts to say to the federal government, we need to call a state of emergency in the city of Surrey. We need to see serious action taken and have these perpetrators that are really causing unbelievable, tragic events.
Okay, it's super quiet, but this is the mayor of Surrey, BC, talking about the extortion rackets that are going on and how they've gotten completely out of control. Here is CBC.
And Surrey City Council is calling on Ottawa to declare the extortion crisis in Surrey a federal emergency. Mayor Brenda Locke brought forward the motion at a public hearing at City Hall last night, saying the crime and violence has escalated beyond local law enforcement's ability to respond.
We have to take a look at an awful lot of things to make sure we're doing this in a very holistic way, because this is absolutely just causing extreme concern, fear, and as has noted, alleged retaliation, and that is going to take us to another place.
So far this year, Surrey has recorded at least 35 reports of extortion-related shootings.
It's January 30th. This came out on January 26th. And at January 26th, Surrey had at least 30 extortion-related shootings. The interesting thing that CBC cut out of that is that Brenda, in that other video, if we'd have kept going, was talking about the immigration and how it tied in with immigration.
Yeah. Here's this is an odd one to me. Okay, but here you go. Man who allegedly.
What's so weird about this? Tell me exactly. If you find it strange, just explain it to us.
Man who
allegedly.
So strange? First off, allegedly, they have him on video doing it. Man who allegedly sexually assaulted horses in Vernon, arrested and released. The farm owner says RCMP have arrested the male suspect in Golden, Vernon, North Okanagan. RCMP confirmed that an arrest was made in connection with the incident, and the person has been released from custody pending further investigation. No charges have been laid at this time.
Well, that's really interesting. I would say in his defense, probably the reason why it's allegedly is because they don't actually. So this is for sexual assault of 3 horses. They don't actually have a video of him sexually assaulting the horses. What they do have, though, is a video of him a video of him moving around the farm, picking up step stools and moving them to various locations. Now, here's him picking up a step stool and moving somewhere slightly off camera with it. Now, I don't know if I need to put it all together for everybody watching and listening, but you don't really get a stepping stool in a situation like that to give them a handshake.
Oh, man. Okay. Another note, Newfoundland and Labrador is the latest. They will not participate in the federal gun buyback program.
Also, Sarnia Police will not, and then there was at least one other place that that said they won't be participating in the gun buyback program. Looks like we got Mitch in the background, though.
Okay, let's flip to Mitch. Mitch, thanks for hopping on.
Hey, Mitch, good to see you again.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Sir.
Good, perfect.
Well, Mitch, I think you're the guy running around the province. Just an update on the petition for people wondering. I think a lot of us have been watching all the different videos coming out from all over Alberta. Obviously, the big ones in Calgary, but maybe your thoughts and anything you can add to the conversation that Albertans would like to know about.
Well, you know what? The heat is it's getting hotter in the kitchen. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
The international media is now attacking us. They're attacking us on our trips to Washington. Basically, they're trying to make that a focal point. We're back in court with Aboriginals on issues of infringing their rights. So the machine on the other side is working very hard to make it to take up a lot of our time and make this as uncomfortable as they can, which we totally expected. And so now we know we're over the target because we're getting a lot of attention. So as far as we're concerned, every event, I was in Cardston last night. We signed 1,000 people. We had protesters there. And we're seeing protesters at basically every place we're going now this week. Anyway,
nice.
In my case, every case, yeah.
Oh, that's good to hear. I mean, I saw you in Calgary the other day, and I didn't see any protesters there. Although somebody did pull the fire alarm. Did that person get caught?
Yeah, absolutely. Now you got to try and imagine the level of stupidity, if there's a lack for a better word. He was signing the actual petition. Put his name, his address, and his driver's license on it. Somehow tried to pull the petition sheet away from one of the canvassers, and then walked between two security guards and pulled the fire alarm.
Was it a public figure?
You know what? I'm not sure. I haven't followed up on that.
Okay. Yeah,
no, I'm not sure.
I mean, we're literally getting to the point with this where they're sounding the alarm.
Oh yeah, no, we absolutely are, and I think really somehow they've the other side has totally missed what we're doing. They don't understand that the level of support that we have, and now that they're seeing in real time, there's a panic involved there, and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it in the way they're reacting. I'm seeing in the attacks that they're doing. I'm seeing that the things that they're attacking us on. I mean, 51st State is going to be their big weapon in Aboriginal rights. But the funniest thing is Aboriginal rights. We have Aboriginal people, regular Aboriginal people, being fully supportive of this and thinking that this is going to be the best opportunity for Aboriginal people to become better off than they've had in the last 100 years. And I totally agree with that. I totally believe that is actually going to be the case. This is going to be the real ability for Aboriginal people of Alberta to deal with regular people and not people that have been trying to put them in a spot for 100 years and have succeeded in doing so. So, you know what? I really believe that this is going to be better for them. And as far as the 51st State is concerned, no one on our side is interested in any of that.
No, it was interesting. I got accused of being a 51st Stater the other day because I had written a tweet a little while ago that said that I'm a Western separatist, and that would be my first choice. But as a consolation prize, I would accept Canada becoming the 51st state, if only because it would piss off everybody in Quebec and Ontario, which isn't nearly the same thing as saying that it's something that I want. But it's getting to the point where they're trying to just misrepresent things that are said, regardless of who says them and where they get said.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Eby called me a traitor
traitor.
yesterday. Yeah. So, so I answered back, and I was just on another radio show, and they asked me what I thought of Mr. Eby's comments. Well, I said, first of all, I think Mr. Eby is doing just as much to break up Canada as anybody. I think he shouldn't be too concerned about that. And I actually think Mr. Eby's a communist. So if he's going to start calling names, he could call me a traitor. But I think that advancing the New World Order and what they're doing is clearly painting him on that side of the ledger. And that's plain and simple. So we have two choices to make, that side or this side. I think it's pretty simple.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been saying this for a long time, but the NDP are not a serious party.
They're not a serious party?
Yeah. The NDP are not a serious party. But we could probably leave that one hanging.
Well, Mitch, I guess for people tuning in, what is coming up over the weekend in the next week that they should know about? Anything you can update on that side of things?
Well, all of our signing locations are going to be up on Stay Free Alberta. So they can definitely go see where they can sign. Mm-hmm. I'm in Camrose tonight. Jeff's in Vulcan. I will be in Black Falls tomorrow, and then next week we start on a brand new group of events. And I'm not sure where I am, actually, to tell you the honest to God truth. I only go 2 days at a time.
So the best place though for people to go is where to find out everything.
StayFreeAlberta.com.
Okay. I don't know. Twos, you might have a few extra questions. I know, Mitch, you're driving around the province, and we don't want to take up too much of your time. But if there's other things that you want to get brought forth, I mean, the floor is yours.
No, I think just everybody go find a signing location and sign and bring friends. That's the message. That's the way this is going to get done. It's a grassroots movement. It's up to you. We need signatures. We need a lot of support, and you know what? We can do this.
Absolutely. I think one of the other things worth mentioning is that their pearl clutching poor arguments are starting to fall apart one at a time. You know, we talked about how there's been $20.5 billion worth of investments being announced in Alberta in the past week. You've got the data center in Olds, and then you've got the Dow Chemicals doing the $10.5 billion in Fort Saskatchewan. And one of the other things I just thought of it now while you were talking about going around and all the events and stuff like that is that this is anecdotal and third hand, but a buddy of mine was talking to a buddy of his who's been going around getting signatures, and he said that by far the most successful day he had was in Canmore, which, if anybody knows Canmore at all, lots of the people who have places in Canmore are successful business people, downtown Calgary, and then they have places in Canmore. And so it's largely the business community, but not even just the business community in general. The people who stand to become really successful in a successful country are the ones jumping at the chance to sign this.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Before we
I'm seeing it everywhere, though. Everybody's signing. Our signing events are clear. Everybody, like, there's young people, there's moms with babies coming in, and they're not staying to listen to the talk. They're signing and leaving because they're getting on with their world. They got to put their kids to bed. But the whole thing is that they are there. And last night they started. The lineup started at 5:00 and didn't end till we left.
Perfect.
Yeah, I guess before we let you out, Mitch, I was just actually wondering. I saw all the videos of Calgary. Two's brought up the fire alarm, but you know, I was listening to one guy talk about in 1 hour they had 888 signatures. That was right at the start. Just for the people who didn't make it to Calgary, what was that event like?
Oh, well, we had a full room. of 3,400 people for the speeches. So that was fantastic, and they were our people. There wasn't a whole bunch of new people there. They were there to to basically celebrate in the fact that we have gotten to this point, and it was a very festive evening. The speakers were well received. We had different people present than what we normally do, and that was on purpose, just to kind of change the tone of it a bit, and I thought it was great. We had Jim Sinclair there, and I love Jim. He did a great job for us in
Yes, he
sharing
did.
with people that the veterans are a lot of veterans are on side with us, and that's not what they fought for. You know what I thought? All in all, it was a huge success. It went without a hitch. It was a
It was.
And
Well, he's
then-
leaving us hanging.
And then we lost him.
All right. Well, if I could speak to it, it was incredibly successful, very well received, and lots of people on the same page. It's and the thing about it is it's a lot of really normal people with very well placed concerns, and it's not some crazy fringe thing. There weren't a bunch of raving lunatics. It was normal everyday people, and there were thousands of them. It was standing room only.
I was talking with Tamara about it, and she's
Oh.
like, it gives me the vibes of the Freedom Convoy, the people that are coming out for it. And when you say everyday people, right, they try and frame it as it's this subset of people. What I see from the videos is it looks like it is everyday Albertans from all walks of life that are like, it's just, I just want to see the question put forth. That's what we want. And let's just see if it gets done. Okay. Well, appreciate Mitch hopping on. I don't know what happened there. At this point, it could be a myriad of things that we experience, it seems like, every week on this show. Let's switch to Dre Humphrey from Rebel News. After nearly 5 years with the feds ordered to soon release documents related to the band's false 215 unmarked grave discovery claim, do you want to say that? I can't. Temu Semkwemwe has quietly wiped its original statement from.
That's a
its
horrible
page.
accent.
Yes, I know.
Yes. So here's the old and new versions of the web page. So it used to say, talking about the 215 unmarked graves, and they have taken that off their website. So, given that the NDP tried to put forth legislation saying that denying that it happened should be illegal, they might have to arrest this Indian band.
Holly Doan, 2 billion trees program cost $487 million, including $44.6 million in administrative costs. The program fell 89% short of the tree planting target. Tuesday asked Grok, how much did the increase the amount of trees in Canada as a percentage? And Grok, where is it?
318 billion trees in Canada already, which meant that that $500 million, $487 million, increased the total number of trees in Canada by 0.07%.
0.07%.
And at $2.22 a tree, which I find personally offensive. But also, it's depending on where you go and what exactly you're trying to do, it's somewhere around ballpark 10 times what you would expect to pay for that amount of trees to be planted.
This Gen Z pair built a $34 million startup in Canada only to move it to the U.S. Canada's like a really good looking guy you want to date, but for some reason he makes it really difficult to be for you to be with him. That's an analogy from Maya Trin, a recent business graduate from Simon Fraser University who co-founded a startup valued at $34 million before moving it to San Francisco. You wake up one day, you realize your worth, and then you get out, she said. The international student from Vietnam is a co-founder of Internet Backyard, a company that provides financial infrastructure for the computer economy by automating billing and financial software.
Look at that. That's the thing, though. That quote. You've got somebody who has a tech startup worth tens of billions of dollars and is moving it to the United States. And it isn't, oh, well, don't you care about the economy, or where are your elbows? Why don't you have your elbows up? She puts it incredibly well. Canada is like a really good looking guy you want to date, but for some reason he makes it really difficult for you to be with him. Which, if you ask Mrs. Two, probably describes me to a T.
Two's telling stories. Show the video, Twos, of your sponsorship idea.
My sponsorship idea? No. This is our new sponsorship. This is welcome to the new sponsor of the Mashup.
If you got onto an indestructible water blob and a car was thrown on the other side, you would soar hundreds of feet into the air. Now, if a blue whale was dropped onto it, it could catapult you over 10 miles high. But if a meteor fell from space and crashed into the blob, the force of the impact would compress the blob and would blast you upward faster than a rocket. And then you'd land straight into Amigos Tex-Mex Grill, because our burritos have their own gravitational pull. Come dine at Amigos, now open at Place Vendôme Mall, Doha, Qatar.
So, thank you to our new sponsor.
We're in Qatar. We're going to have foreign interference claims here soon enough, Twos. All right. Here's some goofy stuff, if that wasn't goofy enough. Here is Ways and Means Democrats. It says no, and they're handing them Basic Economics by Thomas Sowell. And Trump has gotten the Dems to cite Thomas Sowell. Maybe there is hope after all, is the tweet.
I like the reply tweet underneath where it says, author's note, this is Ways and Means Democrats. Author's note, this is a joke. It does not mean we endorse Thomas Sowell. So, I mean, they're almost there. They're almost there with the economics.
Hasbro is being sued by its own shareholders for printing so many damn Magic cards, destroying the long-term value of the brand.
Yes. So Hasbro, who makes Magic the Gathering cards, has made so many Magic the Gathering cards over the years that the value of the cards that people have already purchased is less, and they think that that's damaging the brand, thereby coming into conflict with their fiduciary duty to the stakeholders. Your company is selling so many things that it's making the things that they already had worth less. You can't just print things indefinitely. And if you do print things indefinitely, they become basically worthless. And then the price of gold and silver with relation to the things that you're printing indefinitely goes up.
Correct.
I wonder if there's any real life corollaries to that.
I think we can all do the mental math of what you're talking about. Show the video of the tree exploding.
Yeah, so check this out. This dude's just, well, he's wearing earplugs. He's got ear protection on, which I just noticed this now. But here he is chopping wood. And then in the background, all of a sudden,
holy smoke,
the tree freezes, and it freezes and explodes.
Holy smoke. What was that? Guys, I think a tree just exploded in our woods. It's negative.
Now, I'm just going to go on the record and say that personally, if I was alone in the woods with a ginger, I would rather explode too.
All right. Olivia Chow.
Okay, yeah, this, again, I guess we're going to have to show this video because you're not going to believe what she said unless you literally hear it.
Some areas received up to 56 meters of snow.
56 meters.
Meters of snow. That's unelected.
Now, you got 3 meters in a story. That's like 30 stories. She's talking about Toronto getting what, roughly triple or quadruple the amount of snow that we saw in Russia last week.
Gold and silver was down. Glenn points out gold and silver crashed this morning. It was
How
down
badly?
15% the last time I checked.
Oh no. Oh no. That means my money's only tripled in the past year and a half.
I mean, I can pull it up real quick. Sorry, Glenn. I could actually go a live look here and see
Okay.
what
Well,
it's
here
actually at.
we've got an update to the we've got an update to the story.
Ooh, silver down 28% this morning.
To what?
112 Canadian.
Oh no. Oh no. It's only up 12% in the past month. Oh no. it's 12% in 30 days.
You remember last week me saying to Tooz, why are we following William Shatner eating Raisin Bran in the car? And then this happens.
William Shatner says off to see Kellogg's US, and he's getting into his car with a box of Raisin Bran. This is the thing. Sometimes things on the internet are funny and amusing, and literally everything is wonderful with William Shatner. Like, you look at this, him eating cereal in his car, and you say, I can get behind that.
Yep.
It's from a song. Never mind. It's fine.
Tooz, show some videos of some drivers today, would you?
No, we got one more. I
missed this.
Well, brace yourself.
So I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like it's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American, but it's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice.
It's not just bananas and rice. It's also bananas and rice.
Drivers?
Yeah. You know, interesting thing. I kind of realized something here with Sean definitively saying that there's an entire section of the mashup that he's not going to read. It gives me a lot of creative freedom.
It certainly does.
It certainly does. Are you starting to worry? Are you getting a little
Yes,
squirmy?
a touch, just a touch.
All right. Okay. So check this out. Stunt driving charge laid after 70-year-old man caught doing 151 kilometers an hour on Highway 17, according to Ottawa police. They also found an opened thing of weed of some kind on the seat next to him. No name has been released, which is interesting. I mean, we always harken back to the lady whose name was released when she sprayed a water gun over the fence and hit her neighbor a little bit while she was playing around with her kids. No name released in this incident. No picture either. It's highly suspicious. Oh, look who decided to come back.
Canada, what the fuck is this? Why are you living here for? Minus 35 degrees. That's fucking dying weather. You wouldn't catch a woolly mammoth out in that. He'd be at home in front of the fire with a cup of tea and a little snoot on them and a snuggie. Mother Nature is clearly telling you to fuck right off. You've been shown the door. Stop fighting it. You're not welcome in Canada anymore. Kind regards, Earth. I can see you've built all these lovely buildings. Just cut your fucking losses, abandon them. And look at this. It's fucking making its way over to us. We won't survive that. Anyway, somebody needed to tell you, minus 35, you're all going to die. Get the fuck out of there. Canada is over. It was nice while it lasted. Hopefully some Canadians found this helpful and follow me. I'm delicious.
Haven't seen him in a while, but it's good that he's back. Here is a 50 vehicle collision, including at least one burning down semi.
Where is this?
This is Kitchener, I think they said, or sorry, Belleville, Ontario, on Highway 401. Okay. Here you've got a picture of a semi hauling a wind turbine, tried to make a U-turn on the Trans-Canada Highway at the Hodgeville intersection. So for those of you in and around Regina, you'll know exactly where that is. And yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen these semis that are hauling the wind turbine blades. but they need a lot of room to make turns because that trailer on the end follows a much tighter circle than the tractor. And so you don't want to do anything other than be incredibly gradual. So something like a U-turn is probably like literally the first thing you're told not the fuck to do when you're hauling one of these. And yet he did it and shut down both sides of the highway. So congratulations. You're an idiot. Now here's something. This was in Denver. It wasn't in Canada. But watch this and tell me that if this isn't something you think about doing every time you see this.
They see me rolling.
Probably get demonetized for the music. So the tow truck's got the ramp down.
Show it one more time. Show it one more time.
Tow truck's got the ramp down in the middle of the highway, and somebody jumps it. Here they go. Boom. Oh, it's amazing. How cool is that? Every time you see one of those, you always want to do it. And anytime you see a sprayer, if you're in a small vehicle, you're like, I bet you I could fit. And yeah, so just whoever you are, hats off. I think that's wonderful. And then here is so they got a lot of snow in the States. And here's some Amish guys in the carriage doing donuts. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. This wasn't driving vehicles, it was driving planes. But every U.S. commercial flight crash attributed to pilot error since 2000. Women and minorities represent less than 10% of pilots, yet were factors in 66% of crashes. Fewer than 10% of the pilots are responsible for 66% of the crashes. So maybe instead of having woman-proof vehicles, like the Babylon Bee says, maybe we should do that with planes. Now this one's good. This guy, recent viral video talking about divorce rates.
So this is one of the reasons why the divorce rate is so astronomically high right now in America. As you can see, you got this little young lady out here shoveling all this heavy snow. She has no help. Where's her husband? Like, where's an able-bodied strong man that's able to shovel some of this load and help this lady with all this stuff? She probably cooks dinner, folds laundry. All right. So this is one of the reasons why the divorce.
Oh, it was a fake out. He was actually there the whole time.
I feel like Tuz is having way too much fun right now, folks.
Here's a semi getting cut right the hell off. And I think they said this was the 401 again. Boom. Speeds up. Look at that. And right into oncoming traffic.
The video froze on me, but I get the gist.
Okay, Highway 11 between Hearst and Kapuskasing, Ontario. I don't know where that is. Don't really care. Here's a video. So at the start of it, you've got the delivery driver throwing the box, taking a picture of it, and then look in the background. Watch in the background. Watch this van in the background.
Oh no!
And then just drives away.
Dude.
Just drives away. Vroom, 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 vroom. Backs into a parked car. Just keeps on going. So yeah, that's what we got for drivers this week, Sean.
I'm really enjoying this not watching, although I'm realizing I'm opening a can of worms with you where this could go a lot of different places, folks. Okay, let's switch to the sports desk. We got the world's most profitable teams.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys, number 1. Golden State Warriors, number 2. And then the Rams and the Oilers at number 3. Turn your
Jamie's
phone off.
calling.
Turn your phone
Jamie's
off. Turn your phone off, Twos. What are you doing?
Jamie, you know that we're live right now, right?
I know. That's why I'm calling.
Okay. Why are you calling while we're live?
I'm at the Lafayette in Ottawa for the 40th anniversary of Lucky Ron's singing.
Put it closer to the mic, Twos.
Who's Lucky Ron?
Lucky Ron is the two commando singer that saved us from doing something very stupid and got disbanded. He's a legendary singer.
Okay, go on.
Yes. What else do you want to know? It's going to be a packed bar here tomorrow for his show. There'll be all kinds of Army guys here, college kids, and yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Okay, so like a community notes thing. What's the bar called?
It's called the Lafayette.
The Lafayette, and it's in Ottawa. And
in Ottawa.
And you're telling people that they're going to be able to go to Ottawa and do something that they would actually enjoy.
That's right.
With a straight face.
Probably the only thing we can enjoy in Ottawa. Well, there's a strip bar across the street. It's the Old Gentleman's Club. The old barebacks.
Just tell him Jim sent you and go straight to the back, or what?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Like, you don't have to pay cover charge to get in that way.
Well, it's good to know that most things aren't covered then. Yeah. All right.
That's right. That's right. All right, brother. Okay, anyways, it's on the phone. You tell you I love you.
I love you too, buddy. You can let me know before we start the show next time if you want.
Well, I was hoping you just put me on.
I did. You're on. You're on.
Oh, fuck right on. Hey, I love all the listeners out there, and yeah, keep on keeping on.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
All right, love you, man.
Love you. Bye. Airborne. Up to Johns.
I hope everybody heard that. I heard everything he said, but it might have been a touch quiet.
Well,
Kevin,
I'm sorry. I didn't. I hadn't really planned on this.
Kevin Damon says Jim Sinclair, the third man on the mashup. Yes, shout out to Jim and all the military boys. Okay, back to it. We got the most profitable team.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we already talked about that.
Okay, you got Shorzy in Calgary.
Yeah. So for those of you who are longtime fans of Letterkenny, check out this action.
Holy smokes, this is where my favorite team on planet Earth plays. Hi, everybody. My name's Jared Kiso. I'm from Listowel, Ontario. I play Shorzy. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, guys. We are 8,400 strong in this beautiful, iconic barn. I can't wait to see how loud you guys get. You know, we've done about a dozen of these across North America at this point, but this one is particularly special to me as a lifelong fan of the Calgary Flames.
I get it.
That's just wonderful.
Okay. Yep. Shorzy. Bill Belichick, the 8-time Super Bowl winning coach, is not a first ballot Hall of
Honored to
Famer.
share the ice with you tonight. Thank you so much for doing this with us.
It's the only thing the Calgary Flames got going for him right now. They had Shorzy in the building,
Never
and he likes the
thought I'd
Flames.
get to play in this barn, and just in case I never get to again, I want to say, Calgary Flames, I love this team. I will always love this team. It's Calgary Flames till I die.
Aw, isn't that nice?
Isn't that nice? Bill Belichick, not on he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he didn't get the nod for some reason. It's so weird. It's so strange that he didn't get the nod for the first time. It's almost as though they left him off, and everybody's like, well, why would they leave him off? He's the winningest guy ever. He won all these things. He won all these things. And then the one time in his life he forgets to cheat is during this fucking vote. Spygate, 2007. Belichick personally was fined $500,000. The team fined $250,000, and they lost a first-round draft pick. Remember Deflategate in 2015? Team fined $1 million, lost first and fourth round picks. Tom Brady was suspended for 4 games. And then Spygate 2 in 2019, team fined $1.1 million and lost a third-round pick. The crew was banned for a season. And those are just the definitive, provable ones. There's also all of the he probably cheated, like videotaping the Rams walkthrough in 2002, videotaping Panthers practices in 2004, videotaping or playbook theft from the Eagles in 2005, stealing play sheets and scouting reports from all kinds of different people in the early 2000s, jamming coach to quarterback communications and headset malfunctions in over the course of like a decade, unauthorized player use, general signal stealing or espionage from 2001 to 2006, faking injuries in 2008, falsified injury reports in 2014, sneaky/ineligible receiver formations in 2014, which technically wasn't illegal, but in the postseason, the NFL updated the rules to make sure that could never fucking happen again. Fire alarm pulled at opponent's hotel in 2017, and play clock exploitation in 2019. But yeah, he's the greatest of all time at cheating. Go ahead.
Oh, this is Jerry Callahan. I've been to the Football Hall of Fame, and personally, I'm glad they're not going to soil this sacred place with a scoundrel like Bill Belichick. Hey, check this out. It's me and O.J. Simpson.
Yep. O.J. Simpson's in the Hall of Fame, but Bill Belichick is not, which actually probably bodes well for his 29-year-old girlfriend.
Oilers superfan McMullet attends 200th game in a row, drives 7 hours round trip each time. Trevor Wheel took in his 200th Oilers game, Oilers home game, that is. Wheel, whose nickname is McMullet, he colors his hair in the front, long in the back, hairstyle, Oilers blue and orange for games, lives east of Calgary and Strathmore and drives 3.5 hours each way to get to watch games at Rogers Place. He decided to buy Oilers tickets because at the time he had been sober for a year and his wife told him to do something for yourself.
Yeah. Just go do something for yourself, honey. Okay, I'm going to go to 200 games in a row. Just do something for yourself.
Fighting mean goats.
Yeah. I would call this fits underneath the sports desk. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I do have this love for things that you might call like the Ocho sports. In this case,
Welcome to round 17. Comments want me to fight my meanest goats in a Zorb ball. See who's boss.
All right. It's too bad we're going to take the sound off because of the music, but this is him getting absolutely murdered in this Zorb ball by a whole bunch of goats that are just beating the crap out of him. Like, just look at that one. Like, he's just flying all over the place. They're taking flying headbutts at him. It's wonderful. There was actually, I was thinking about, I don't know, for whatever reason, probably because I watched this one like 8 times. I saw probably about 10 videos from this guy getting the snot kicked out of him by these goats this past week. And I was thinking about just doing a big supercut of it. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe we'll keep it a little bit on the rails. Now, speaking of Ocho sports, this is a German event where your eyes are completely covered, and you've got to fill up a jar as full as possible without having it go over. And all you have to go by is the sound it makes as it fills up.
No way. Stop. The moment might be too big. He's sweating. The lights might be too bright. No way he thinks it's full. Oh no! Oh, he's the GOAT. If he calls it off, he's LeBron. Oh, wait. Oh, he's gotta be cheating.
This is a sport. We need more of this in the world. Like, just this whole, like...
I could see Twos being there and doing that sport. That's a sport made for you, Twos.
No, anybody who's ever listened to me play guitar knows that I'm very...
After seeing your curling prowess, I would say that one's probably more up your alley.
Yeah, I really liked how we won that game the other weekend, Sean.
I really liked how you had the chance at tying, winning, something. You had the rock. You threw the rock. You sailed the rock. And maybe water pouring is what you need to do, Toos.
Maybe waterboarding is what you need to do, Sean.
Woo! Happy Friday, everyone. This is it's the gift that just keeps on giving. Talking about some happy news or a cool story. Snowplow driver quietly clears path for ambulance carrying baby during dangerous winter storm.
Yes. So not only that, but it was, how many miles was it? It was like 30 miles or something that this guy cleared along an interstate so that this baby could get to the hospital. Just kept on just driving a nice clean lane so that the ambulance could get through, which is the exact opposite, I would say, of what happened in Edmonton over the past several weeks, where you literally had emergency vehicles stuck as fuck.
Then you got Knight's Path. Forgive me, this is a game of sorts. Introducing Amelia.
Totally unknown game.
One of the female characters you can form a romantic relationship with in the game. And then somebody said, I hope you'll have some LGBTQ representation in the game. To which they replied, we care about gaming and fun, not modern agendas.
Yeah. And so that tweet right there this is a completely unknown account. Like if you look at Knight's Path, it has 56.7 thousand followers, which is most of them just joined in the past little bit. You look at all of their tweets before this, they'd get 20 some likes. These guys were completely unknown. I'd never heard of this game before. But then all they did was just say, hey, we're not doing the modern agenda thing. And it blew up. And now that game is one of the most wish-listed games on Steam right now. Just because there's been so much bullshit lately in everything in entertainment, but a lot of times in games. And now you're getting to the point where people are like, hey, you know what? We're just going to do something that's fun and we're not going to push an agenda. This isn't for modern audiences. This is for people who want to actually sit down and enjoy what they're doing.
Community notes. This one comes in from QDM. Pasture Poodle Roundup, February 7th and 8th. Teams of 2, buy-in $60 per team. Yeah.
So Laird apparently has a big enough coyote problem that they're basically having a fishing derby for coyotes.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is.
You have for people wanting to sign in this area, Wainwright happened, I think it was last night, if memory serves me correct, and they have Lloydminster February 12th, Vermilion February 24th. As we get more details on that, we'll share them here. But if you're in this area of the world or of Alberta and you're wanting to sign the petition, there are some different spots. I know RecTech had a signing day yesterday. And as I find out more information of different spots, you can go here. I mean, obviously go online. You can find all the information there. But we'll try and update you on the Lloydminster Vermilion Wainwright riding of where you can sign. I know February 12th, February 24th, Lloydminster, and then Vermilion. That's going on. You got the Cornerstone Forum this morning. There's 124 tickets left, and I was I was kind of like, oh man, I wonder if we'll ever get close to a sellout. Now I'm like, oh man, we sold 151 week, so I'm like, we got 124 left. So if you haven't bought, I would strongly suggest you buy sooner than later, because once they're sold up, they're just sold up.
Yeah,
so we got 124 left.
You were talking about this with Matt Arrett last year. If you sold 20,000 tickets, you could have just opened up the stadium all the way around it. This is fixed. Like that, there's this many tickets, and they're not making any more of them. Unlike money in this country.
Correct. So that's what's coming up. Anything else on your side from community notes?
March 28th, Thermal Cup in Cold Lake for kids sport. So yeah, they're doing it. They're doing big hockey thing there. The kids sport chapters locally are Bonnyville, Cold Lake, Lloydminster, St. Paul, Vermilion, and Wood Buffalo. 8 teams from various oil field companies. And last year they raised $65,000. All the money stays within the local chapters.
Did I send you anything else? And now that you're bringing it up, I'm like, did I?
Well, we got the Big Jack Classic, $6,000 in cash and prizes, February 14th and 15th in Buffalo Lake, Alberta.
You got February 3rd in Grand Prairie, Kathy Flett, Roger Hodkinson, and Jason Levine doing an Alberta Independence Talk. That's a free event. Donations welcome. And that's in Grand Prairie on February 3rd. So some different things going on in Alberta and elsewhere. If you got events going on elsewhere, folks, please do share. I mean, we had Sinclair come in from Ottawa, so we're open to sharing anything
so
anywhere.
Also
So
his event tomorrow at the what was that place he called?
Lafayette?
Yeah, the Lafayette in Ottawa. So if you're in Ottawa for some godforsaken reason and you need to drown your sorrows, do it with a bunch of friendly faces.
That's going to do it this week for us, folks. Mashup 193. And appreciate you guys hopping on. We're here every Friday, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. As always, Twos, we'll catch up to you next week. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And, well, enjoy the weekend. Twos, see you later.
That's it. Thanks, everybody.
Welcome to the Mashup. Tell me whether I'm wrong or right. East or west, up or down, side to side. I sit to stand and fall to fly. Of all of my impulsive plans, pop and lock and salsa dances on demand. I follow leading off the map and stop the chatter, scream happily. Welcome to the Mashup. Welcome to the Mashup. Welcome to the Mashup.